Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ARK Survival Ascendant. And today, I'm heading over into the caves here on Lost Colony because I want to go ahead and check out the new Araneo TLC. I've been really excited to see what they've gone ahead and done with these things, and of course I've read over what they described in their own patch notes, but I want to go ahead and actually check them out with my own eyes and see what they're like and actually see if they might be something that I might end up taming in future playthroughs. I went ahead and brought everything that I'll need to tame them. They got switched to a knockout tame, so I brought a bunch of darts, and I have a bunch of kibble. I believe they take simple kibble. I could be wrong about that, and on my rates, this should be enough to tame probably 10 of them, so probably not going to tame that much. And then I brought a good saddle that I just had laying around in my loot vault, and I probably got off of a dragon horde, would be my guess. That's where most of my loot comes from. A bit of a leg spike there, sorry about that. But yeah, I guess I must have just kept it knowing that their TLC was coming soon and decided to go ahead and keep it around. The first cave that I'm probably only going to go into one now that I think about it, but yeah, here it is. Right up here. So yeah, these guys are simple knockout tame now. I'm pretty sure they're pretty simple. I don't think they have much torpor or anything. I can't imagine they're just an Araneo, but we're just going to head in here. Here is the entrance, by the way. It's got these ruins here, and here it is on the map. Let me just go ahead and wait for it to go ahead and... Hold on. Okay, it's not going to go ahead and show up. Anyway, yeah, these are the coordinates. Sorry if it's a little bit difficult to see. Maybe if I land, it'll show up. There we go. Alright, much better. Yeah, so coordinates and general location on the map, and simple, tiny little entrance, and unfortunately, since the cave reworked, the Desmo that I had parked in here is now apparently stuck in the wall, so that's not good. Fortunately, my Megathir is still here, so I can use her if I ever need to farm a bunch of chitin. But from what I understand, yeah, it looks like these guys now exist up on the ceiling. So, oh, and there's the webbed effect. Hold on, let me... it already wore off. I'm not exactly sure how this thing works compared to the old web effect. This one's only 95, and I guess I have Spotlight here on neutral to go ahead and help me out with anything. I probably shouldn't have Mischief the same way, but let's just take a look at the ones up on the ceiling. Okay, 145, 20, 135, and 150. Okay, that's actually a really good start. Alright, so I do want to know what happens... Hold up here in Onyx. There we go. Might go ahead and turn on the night vision while we're in here a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier. Oh yeah, that makes it a lot easier to see them. I didn't even know that one was there. 100. So what I also want to know, what happens if I am directly under them? It doesn't look like they're... Oh, that one dropped down. Oh yeah, Mischief is gonna go ahead and get hurt, but yeah. Let me just take a look at what's up there. I want to make sure that okay, the 145 and 150 are still up there. That's good, and Mischief is going ahead and killing everything. Let me just go ahead and whistle passive. Here, I'll just take these ones out. Okay, I think that worked. We should be good. So now we should just have the 145, the 150, and then whatever that other one is, which is... Okay, 20. I can quickly take that out. Here, let me just switch over to marksman mode and... Okay, hold on. What's biting me? Oh, it's a Meganura. Alright, I'm guessing these guys shouldn't have that much torpor, but I'm just gonna give it a single shot and see what happens. Okay, it fell down. Is it asleep? I can't really tell. Okay, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Oh, it tanked that? I'm kind of impressed. There we go. It was pack leader, so there should be another one. Maybe not. I'm guessing it's asleep by the fact that it's not running towards me, so... I do have a really good long neck, but, yeah, I'm guessing these guys don't have a lot of torpor. I can quickly go ahead and see and... Oh, they sit on their backs. That's really cool. Really cool, given that spiders and other insects do that. Well, I guess spiders aren't insects, but you get the idea. We got another one over there. 145. Alright. That's nice. And instantaneously knock it out. Alright, maybe bringing enough kibble for 10 wasn't a bad idea. Nothing too crazy there. Let's see. according to Dododex, it should take 6, so hopefully they start taming up here pretty shortly. I just want to make sure. Actually, here, how much torpor? Oh, they only have 700. Okay, so my long neck is definitely overkill for knocking these things out. I think actually my mutated cryo could probably knock one out in just 1 or 2 spits, but I like the vibrant colors they have. That's really nice. Of course, we'll get a better look at them visually here when we actually tame one and I can move it outside to check it out, but just want to go ahead and check through the rest of the cave to see if we can find any. I also want to know how common they are, because one of my big fears is that with the change that these guys would get off of the TLC would obviously affect all of the ones in the wild, which could potentially make doing caves that used to be incredibly simple a lot more annoying, depending on what their abilities are. But already I can kind of tell that I think they're a little bit more rare. I feel like I would have encountered a few more. But we will definitely still be keeping a close eye on that. They're also not on the ground, so I'll probably go ahead and check to see what happens if I just walk under one. Here, let's just fly under it with, like Desmo. I feel like I'm directly under it. Alright, it's still staying up there, so that's good. Let's just check the level. Alright, get rid of it. There we go. And yeah, there's obviously a bunch of type Minera and stuff in this cave, so you need to be a little bit worried about that. Okay, I'm actually getting a little bit worried that they're not eating the kibble. Do I need to grab any narcotic or something, or are you guys gonna be alright? I think I might need to grab some narcotic. Wait a minute, oh, they are taming. What? Oh, they must take a higher tier of kibble. I must have messed up. Okay. I guess, hold on, let me go quickly grab some more kibble, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I brought a little bit of both regular and superior kibble just to go ahead and test to see which one they seem to enjoy. I'm guessing, okay, so not regular. Do they take superior? Okay, so they take at least superior kibble. I guess I'll just wait for these ones to wake up before I come back and feed them. That way their taming effectiveness can reset, and we can just go check out the rest of the cave to see if there's any more that I want to tame. It's a little bit hard in a big cave like this, seeing that they're so high up. That should be a good one, though. I'm a little bit worried that if I knock it out, it's going to fall into the water. So, let me at least take out this Carno. So I'm a little bit worried these things could go ahead and cause a little bit of problems. Let's see if I can just grab it straight off the wall with my Desmo. Okay, I can't... I don't know if that's because Desmos just can't grab Araneos, or if because they can't be grabbed off the wall. Let's just knock it out, though. Alright, didn't land in the water, unless for some reason that's counted as water. I've seen crazier. I think I should be safe to go ahead and feed him after I get rid of this scorpion. I say that as if I really need to be worried about anything in here. It shouldn't be nighttime, right? Yeah, so I'm not really worried about... Nothing in here should really be that big of a problem, is I really would only be worried about, Megalosaurus, there we go. There's too many megas in this game. There we go. Get rid of the Arthro, and I think we should be fine to go ahead and deposit the kibble. Superior, there we go, and looks like mostly oxygen and some weight, which it seems like weight's actually going to be a helpful stat on these guys, given that one of their abilities is affected by weight. None of these guys are awake yet, and what's going on over here? Stop that. Leave Mischief alone, please. Alright, any other ones? Oh, here's a decent group. I definitely... Let's see. Here, this one should be a good... easy way to... not a good level. Alright, just want to see... Oh, there's the web effect again. And, okay, it wears off really quickly, so I guess that's a good thing. Let's just see what happens. Let me just quickly kill everything down here. Okay, we should be clear. Now I want to see what happens if I just walk under one of these guys. Is it going to dive down on top of me, or... It looks like we're okay. Okay, so it probably is based off aggro range, meaning that large caves like this, I think you shouldn't have to worry about them just dropping on top of you, so you'll have to shoot them down. I guess that's nice. That'll probably make some of the caves, particularly on the island, a little bit easier for the earlier caves, simply because there's less Araneos on the ground, but supposedly they are stronger. I've heard that their damage and their health was increased, so that's not exactly going to be great for running caves, but I'm mostly curious about their webbed attack. It doesn't seem to have as big of an effect as long as you only have one stack, but seeing that stackable, I'm assuming that it's going to get significantly worse if you get hit more often. Another 145 should probably just knock that out. I'm taking a bunch of these. I'm not really sure if I want to go ahead and mutate them. I got a lot of other things that I got planned. I'm really having to get a lot of stuff done before the release of Genesis Part 1, but I would like to go ahead and mutate them, assuming that I do have the time for it. There we go. Knock that one out. Are they alpha boosted, or what's going on here? Actually, they're probably just mate boost now that I think about it. Anyway, but yeah, I might go ahead and mutate these guys. Definitely let me know if you want to see it, because that obviously will let me know that it's something I should put some time into. Of course, I feel like getting the stats won't be that bad, as they're pretty common in these caves. Yeah, they're just mate boosted. And, okay, decent stamina is not awful, but it's not what we're looking for. Okay, 32 in health is pretty good. Oh, there's another one. I have no idea what level it is. It's bad. Alright. That solves that problem. Any others? Don't think so. Alright. Well, yeah, honestly, their taming method, I mean, it's not like it's really anything that's special. It's just a simple knockout tame, and honestly, they have an incredibly low torpor. I wonder if they're going to change that in the future. I feel like, especially for something that takes superior kibble, 700 torpor really isn't that much. I don't know exactly how much torpor that is to knock it out with, like, just a crossbow or something off the top of my head. But I wouldn't imagine it's very much. I mean, here, let me just go ahead and find something else that's really easy to knock out. Is there just like a random... Let me find a scorpion. That'll be good. Or actually a direwolf will work. How much does a level 25 direwolf have? That should probably be really low, I think. Is there another one in the bushes? Oh, there is. Oh, that's max level. Probably would have been better to compare it to that, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, up, another one. Hold up. Just want to make sure. Ooh, that's very nice coloring. At level though. Level 25 direwolf has more torpor than a max level spider. Okay, so yeah, these guys are going to be incredibly easy to knock out. Again, I don't know the actual math, like what a normal base primitive crossbow does. I don't know that stuff off the top of my head, but yeah, I'd imagine you could knock these guys out really easily. So at the very least, they're easy to tame. I believe you can use spoiled meat as an option to tame them still, but from what I understand, you do still lose a lot of levels, which obviously you're not going to want that, but if you just want to get a hold of one early game for whatever reason, that would probably be a pretty good option. I feel like they'd be a lot better if they were on Aberration, given a lot of their traversal utility I think would be better on Ab, but I don't think they were really added to the starting zones at Ab. Nothing really good there, but we'll go ahead and drop off the kibble anyway, and I need to head back to the start of the cave to check out all of the original ones that we knocked down. Dodex says currently that they take a simple kibble. I think that was from when they slightly gave the original Araneo the ability to have kibble for, it was like a couple days before the TLC. Here's just grab that one. Then we'll just grab this one, and I think that should actually be 10 of them, so I'll probably go ahead and stop. That's about level, right? Yeah. Let me just get rid of that. Alright, where's the first one? Over here. Drop off 6 kibble. And we'll just do the same thing to the one that landed right over here. There we go. 30 damage isn't that bad. Be kind of nice if we were able to get ourselves mutatable stats just from the very start, but we'll see. Yeah, we need to go get these ones, and I'll definitely go pick that guy up once we knock these ones out. Yeah, there's tons of them around here, so yeah. These guys probably wouldn't be that hard to go ahead and mutate if I really wanted to, but yeah, we'll figure out if I'll do that. If I end up having enough time to, then I'll definitely add them to the list. I would like to see what these guys can do, but honestly, I'm not really sure what exactly you test a spider out on. I mean, I don't really even know how to fill in the rest of the time for this episode. I mean, yeah, they're cool, but they are still just a spider, so I don't think they got any secret super combat abilities. Here, we should be able to just quickly tame these guys, and let me just deal with this boa. Alright, I'm pretty sure none of these guys had anything remarkable, but yeah, nothing great there. I guess 30 weight's not bad. 32 health, okay. Completely forgot about that. And up, we're already getting them in. That's nothing too crazy either. Here, let me just pick him up, and sorry, boa. Yep, and yep, got both of them. Alright. Oh, well, there we go. There's 3, and we have, what's that, 2, 4, 6, 7 of them left, so yeah, we got all 10. I guess that should have been obvious by the fact that I have no more kibble, but yeah. Let me just wait for these guys all to tame up, and then I will bring you guys back, and we can check out the stats, and then check out what these guys are capable of doing. So I shall bring you guys back in a few minutes. Okay, so I've gone ahead and collected up all of the Araneos we ended up taming, and just go ahead and take a look at the stats. And there we go. Alright, so let's see. Nothing too great there. I mean, decent health, but nothing I'll want to use for the mutations. Alright, decent. Good food. Not that that really matters. Some pretty decent stamina. Decent combat stats all around. I'll probably take that one out. Nothing great there. Oxygen, decent weight again. And, okay, so nothing that I'm going to be keeping for the sake of mutating them, but let's go ahead and grab this one. And this will be our little test subject here. So, first of all, yeah, no, this is a significant improvement over the original. This looks a lot more like a spider, I have to admit. So, let's just go ahead and put the saddle on. And let's see. Alright, well, still feels a little bit awkward. I feel like this is too small of a creature to be riding on, but whatever. Nice that we're able to turn in place. I think that's a really nice addition. And, okay, thank goodness they have the controls here. Alright, let's just head back into the cave so we can have access to everything. So first off, we have our standard melee attack, which is just a normal bite. Alright, nothing too crazy there. And then the web shot. Okay. We're able to rapid fire this pretty fast, and there doesn't seem to be any limit to how much we can use. Okay, that's nice. And then enable tether mode. Alright. And then... So, is there a way for us to reel it in or anything? Here, we just go ahead and take out this boa. And up. Okay, that's the explosion effect that goes ahead and applies the web to anything else. So how do we... Web ascend? Okay, space. So up to the leg, that allows us to roll back in, and this should have ambusher, right? Yes. This increases the amount of damage the next attack does. Yes, next attack does additional damage in max stacks of webbed. Okay, and then we can descend. So climb back up, drop back down, and then detach. Alright, nothing too crazy. And then, yes, change web shot, and then poison web shot. Okay, so I believe poison web shot does torpor, normal web shot I think does more damage and just applies the webbed effect in general. And it seems we can jump, so that's nice. So, we don't want to do that. Except, can we pull this in? Yes, it looks like we can pull a boa. That is, of course, linked to your weight stat. So here I need to change this back to the normal firing mode. And let's just see. Oh, Mischief is in the way. That actually does a decent amount of damage, honestly, for being at range. I'm guessing it's max web, so okay, they move incredibly slowly when fully affected by web. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit annoying, and we do get silk from harvesting their corpses, which is really nice. Alright, how much damage does this thing have? Not that much, so I could probably get this thing over double its damage, so almost 160 per shot would be my guess with a mutated one, if not even higher. That's not awful, but now I know how good this thing's going to be in knocking things out. And also, can it ground a flyer? Here we go. Am I hitting Mischief again? I think I am. Okay, it doesn't look like we can ground flyers. They just heavily lose their mobility. And okay, it does take a bunch of stamina to do this, and we do have redder weaponry, which is nice. Here, how much did we get? Okay, only about 10. Let me see if I can use the sickle to help with that. Just apply the max stacks. There we go, that should hit max. Alright, do that. And then... he went to harvest on his own. Not what I wanted. Here, let's just quickly web the boa up. There we go. Let me quickly whistle passive, and... Okay, can't harvest the corpse that way. Can I do it with a hatchet? I can, but I don't get any silk, so you must have to use the Araneo to harvest the silk. That's a little bit unfortunate. I was really hoping there was going to be a better way. But yeah, now I want to test the poison web shot. Let's just go ahead and change over to that. Let's see. It looks like it's a little bit hard, so you can hit the ground. Here, can I... Am I able to climb up onto a web? Oh, that's kind of awkward. Oh, I completely forgot that we can climb on walls. Not sure how I forgot that. Let's change that. Then let's turn around. Can we hit this dung beetle? Okay, we can. Alright, so less damage, but it should do torpor. Still seems to apply the webbed effect. That's nice. Just keep going until it's knocked out. I can't tell if this thing just has a lot of torpor or... Oh, there we go. I don't know how much that took, but let's go ahead and see. Magnifying glass, how much torpor do dung beetles have? Okay, a little bit over 1,000, so that might have been maybe like 100 torpor per hit or something. I guess I probably could have tested that in a better way. Am I able to affect my own creatures with it? I'm gonna guess that's probably because it's all Mischief's already been hit, but yeah, alright, so, I mean, that's still a decent amount of torpor, especially if you were to have a bunch of these things shooting at the same target, and of course, if you had them mutated, they'd be a lot more powerful. Here, let me just get some light up in front of us. Oh, that's actually really nice, now that I think about it. Maybe I should have mutated him to have white eyes. Anyway, but yeah, overall, I'd say this is a pretty nice TLC. I definitely want to know, how do I make the web line into a zip line? Should do that. And can I... Okay, so I tether it like that? Did that work, or is it too far? It might be too far. There we go. Alright, so... Okay, that's nice. Okay, that's really nice. Nice for traversing caves. I can definitely see this being helpful on particularly the island. Couple caves that I know of could make a lot of use out of this. I could especially see this being a really good way to help you get around the get around all of the creatures in like the snow cave, seeing that you could just sit up here and shoot what you absolutely have to. Could I grab onto that? Okay, quickly ascend and climb on the wall. Okay, yeah, this could actually be really good for having to quickly go through, like, the super difficult caves on a lot of maps. Let's get out of here before that becomes a problem. But yeah, I think the mobility is really... let me up, let me up, let me up. Are we good? Yeah, he's just got mischief. That's gonna be a bit of a problem. Oh, wow. Okay, aiming while swinging like this may be a little bit difficult. I could definitely see this being a really fun way to play around, though. Again, I'm not really sure exactly how useful it's gonna be, comparatively speaking, but it's definitely fun. Can we actually, like, swing? Oh, we can. Okay, hold on, let me see if I can... Okay, I could have just messed up my timing there, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to swing a lot more. Let's try it again. This could actually be really nice if you could actually just swing around like that. Also, one thing I've noticed, I guess the original Araneo had this too, but they have a stinger. I don't know of any spiders that actually have a stinger, but that's kind of just a cool little addition. Okay, that just sets up the zip line. So yeah, it looks like they probably can't be used to just swing around from web to web, and you're definitely going to have to touch the ground. But still, this is a really nice way to help you traverse bigger caves, especially helping you avoid the larger carnivores like Megalosaurus. I keep forgetting the name. Yeah, this is nice. This is definitely a fun way to go ahead and traverse around caves, and I think this would be amazing on Ab. I really hope that they add these things to Ab. I think there are aberrant Araneas down by where the rockrick nests are, but unless they add them to the earlier stages, like the fertile zone, I don't think we're really gonna get to see these guys used that much. But yeah, honestly, this is... Oh, there's another Megalosaur. Let me just take that out. There we go. Yeah, this is a really fun way to go ahead and move around the caves. I definitely would like to do this more. And honestly, now that I think about it, there's probably spots on Gen 1 where this would be helpful. And with the exception of the kibble, they're actually pretty easy to tame. I mean, it's on my rate, which is 2.5 times taming. It's 6 superior kibble, which I feel that's a little bit high. Especially because if I remember correctly, Araneo, yeah, it's still level 40. Pretty cheap saddle though. I guess 40's not too bad. I guess you can get to level 40 pretty quickly. Yeah, I definitely like the traversal aspect of this guy. I think that this is actually really nice. I just wish that it was more accessible early game and that there were more uses. Also, that the swinging mechanic could actually be used a little bit more reliably. I mean, it's kind of working. Not as much as I'd like it to, but it's kind of working. Oh, messed up. I feel like maybe if I was particularly good at using these things, I could probably use it to swing around a lot, but... I mean, it's still fun. It's definitely fun, and I do appreciate that. I also tend to really get caught up on whether or not something's actually that functional. And yeah, I still would probably prefer to go through a cave on an actual combat mount and just clear it out. But I guess if you just want to run a cave simply for the artifacts, and it's a particularly hard one like the snow cave on the island, yeah, these guys are probably going to be really nice for that, seeing that they definitely are going to be really good at climbing around the cave and avoiding most of the problem. It looks like the webbed effect can also hit you if you're riding on the back of a creature. Fortunately, it doesn't look like it affects the Araneas themselves, so that's nice. Here, Mischief is webbed. Let's go ahead and just quickly... movement speed is... Alright, hold on. Let me go... Let me go fix this. Actually, here. I'll go ahead and use my Megathir up here. I'll make sure that it's on passive. I also love the jump. I think that's really nice, and I think that the animations are pretty smooth, too. Here, let's just go ahead and... Are you on passive? You are. Here, I'm just gonna unclaim it so I can web it real quickly. Here we go, and... Oh, I'm on, the... There. Go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, looks like about 6. I think is max stats. Max stacks, not stats. Sorry. And then movement speed and attack speed are decreased, and you are taking extra damage per stack. At 5 stacks, you also cannot jump or sprint. Okay. That does sound a little bit awful to run into a cave and have that affect you. It looks like it wears off pretty quickly, though, which is nice. Let's just go ahead and see how much health we gain per level. Okay, not a lot. And our damage, alright, pretty normal per creature, and weight. Alright, that's actually a good amount of weight per level, which is nice. Yeah, I definitely could see these things being a nice early game tame for helping you get around caves. Unfortunately, I feel like their saddle is a little bit too end game to the point that you get it for me to really feel like they're going to be incredibly helpful. That being said, though, I do think this is going to be a really fun way to go ahead and get around caves, and it looks like their mobility is actually pretty good. And I do believe, if I remember correctly, let's just hop down here. Okay, it looks like they're immune to fall damage, which is nice. Where's that? There's that winter drakeling. Let me just get rid of it. There we go. It looks like it also applies the webbed effect on biting. That's interesting. But yeah, I believe they have a turret mode, right? Yes. Okay. So, oh, and they even changes their stance, so they're completely ready to attack. Alright, that's nice. I definitely like that they have the brighter colors on them. I think that's a really nice addition. I also think that the patterning that they have in general is nice, and just the model is really good. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the mouth. I gotta be honest. I know that was something that apparently a lot of people were really upset with the original Araneo, and yeah, I can understand that having it included on this one is a little bit annoying. But honestly, other than that, I feel they did a pretty good job with this thing. I like the colors, as I've already said. I think that the naturally bright colors is a really nice addition. I feel that the animation on this thing is really nice. Even just the movement of the legs during the jumping, I feel is really smooth. And obviously, the ability to turn in place is really nice. And, of course, just swing from the webs. I mean, I'm probably going to like that way too much. This is just really fun. Again, I wish that you could use them a bit more accurately, shooting another web while you're in air and grabbing onto another surface. But I guess that might be a little bit overpowered. And the ability to use weapons while at least you're on a web, you can't seem to do it while you're climbing on a wall, which is unfortunate. But if we just go ahead and grab on here, yeah, I'm still allowed to use my weapons, which that's really nice. So I can definitely see that being useful for probably PvP purposes. I don't really know PvP, so I can't go ahead and give you a definitive answer on that. But yeah, I feel like late game they're going to get surpassed by a lot of creatures, which, I mean, that's okay. Fortunately, we have about a month before a new map comes out, and I can't remember, but I feel like Araneo are on the map somewhere. So I'll probably go ahead and maybe tame one up just to help me get around, particularly the bog biome with all of its big trees. I think it could be helpful. What would also be really nice, I guess we could go check just to make sure, would be if this thing could, like, skate on top of the water. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a couple spiders that can do that can utilize water tension, and they can basically just almost walk on the water, but I highly doubt the Araneo is going to be able to do that, but I may as well give it a shot, because, I mean, that'd be really nice if they could, and that'd be really helpful for, just as part 1 with the ocean biome. Be a nice way to travel in between the different, didn't mean to do it that way. I'll just grab this one. Oh. Yeah, one of these guys got knocked out. He was fighting a boa and passed out. So, don't get hit by any form of torpor. That is these guys' biggest counter, I guess. But yeah, let's just make sure. It'd be really nice if... No, they definitely swim. Alright, well... can we at least... Can I at least shoot? Nope. Can't make a zipline or anything in the water. That's unfortunate. Anyway, but yeah, I really do like these guys. I think that they did really well. I feel like the balance of a traversal creature is really good with these things. I just really wish that there was more of them on maps like Ab. I mean, maybe they did change their spawns on Aberration. I don't know. I haven't heard anything saying that, but I guess I also haven't heard anything saying that they haven't, so I guess there's a chance. But I do feel that Aberration would be a really nice map to grab these things. Like, if you're on a cluster and you have Aberration on that, I would recommend grabbing one of these things and taking it over there. One of the best creatures for early game traversal on Aberration is the Ravager, because it can climb on ziplines, and being able to make your own ziplines would be really nice. And now that I think about it, when we get home, I actually want to check something, because I want to know if the zipline can be ridden. Ridden? Rode? Ridden, I think. Ridden by a survivor going down it, and maybe an up it. I don't have a zipline motor, so I can go up it, but yeah, let me just quickly check that, because that could actually be really interesting to go ahead and use that as a way to get around, even just by yourself. Here, let me just hop off and pull out another one. I can just go re-equip the saddle. Here we go. And they should eat spoiled meat still, I would imagine. They're still an insect, so, well, you get the idea. I'm gonna mess up that a lot if I ever do more of these guys, aren't I? There we go. Alright, so zipline is placed. First of all, I want to say that just looks really nice. Let's see, can only Araneos ride on it, or... Oh, no, we can! Oh, that is so nice. Okay, so even just having a single Araneo in, like, a, I guess, like, a hunting party or something could still be really valuable. I forgot to mention, but the zip lines do degrade over time. Is there a way for me to, like, demolish it? No? Alright, so I can't, like, harvest it for silk or anything, and I can't cut it with a sword, so I guess it just stays put permanently. But either way, I think that's a really nice addition. I think they did really well with these things. I think they fit the role that I would like them to have very much. I think that this was a great option. I do really wish that... Rude. I do wish that I was able to tell how much torpor they did per hit of their poison web shot, just to know if they'd really be a viable way to go ahead and knock stuff out, but... I mean, we already have the cryo for that, and the mantis and equus are also pretty good, so... I guess we already have plenty of creatures that can do knockout taming. Of course, nowhere near as good as shocking trank darts, but yeah, honestly, I feel like they did a really good job with this. Honestly, everything about it. The only real complaint I have is simply that the saddle's still unlocked pretty late mid-game. I mean, 40 seems a little bit excessive for a creature that's not only so easy to tame, but also, I feel, would get most of its benefit from really early game, I guess, just early game. Yeah, also adding these things to Aberration, I think would be really nice, but yeah, I think they'll still find a lot of use in helping you get through caves, just for the sake of getting artifacts, especially if you're on a map like the island, where the only way to get, element is through boss fights. I think that these guys will be really helpful for just getting around the map, and also, I'm just now looking at the saddle. This looks really good. I like the addition of the webs on the little thorns at the back and the bird skull, and it looks almost like little oxen horns or something on the front. Yeah, I think they did a really good job with these things. Still, though, not exactly sure how I feel about the mouth. It's a little bit weird. Spiders don't really have traditional mouths like that, but yeah. Overall, I definitely say they did a really good job with these guys. And I would definitely recommend that you get one just to play around with it, because I personally find that swinging around on those webs is just really fun. I think that's a really cool thing that they added, and that door doesn't need to be open. But yeah, bit of a shorter one, but I think that's really all that I have planned for this one. So, I guess, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.